കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല.
ഏത്
സൗണ്ട്
സൗണ്ട് മൈക്ക് കണക്റ്റഡ് ആയതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അത്.
ശരി.
മൈക്ക്
ഓക്കെ.
കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ? എന്നെ കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
പ്രേമാനന്ദിനെ കാണുന്നില്ല അപ്പൊ. വീഡിയോ ഓൺ
അത്
ആക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
മറ്റേ ആ വീഡിയോ ആണ് മറ്റേ വേറെ ക്യാമറ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്, അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും.
ശരി. അല്ല, അപ്പം ഈ ക്ലാസ്സിനെ കാണില്ലേ ഇപ്പൊ ആരെങ്കിലും കാണുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്ക്? അതോ ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കണ സ്റ്റേജിലേക്കാണോ?
സ്റ്റേജിലേക്ക് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ശരി. പക്ഷെ അത് കാണുന്നില്ല നമ്മളതില്.
നോക്കാം.
ആ ലീല.
ആ
ആ,
ഹായ്.
ഹായ് ലീല. എനിക്ക് അന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഇതിന് വരാൻ സാധിച്ചില്ല മീറ്റിംഗ്.
ആ
ഇതെല്ലാം
ഞാൻ
വർഷവും നടത്തുന്ന ഒരു ലെക്ചറാണ്
ആ
ഗ്ലോറിയുടെ ഓർമ്മയില്.
ആ ആ ആ. ഞാൻ അന്ന് ദൃശ്യത്തില് പോയപ്പോ ചേച്ചിയോട് വൃന്ദയെ പറ്റി ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു.
ആ അറിയാം അറിയാം. ലീല, ഇത് കോമൺ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ അവിടെ ഒരു ഹാളിൽ നടക്കുന്ന ലെക്ചറാണ്. അപ്പൊ
ആ
നമുക്ക് പിന്നീട് സംസാരിക്കാം.
ആ ശരി ശരി ശരി.
A very warm good morning to one and all present over here. Today we all have gathered here for the Gloria Gopikumar Annual Lecture Series 2025. Now, for exploring artificial intelligence, potential developments and challenges, we have dignitaries on stage, Mr. Rajeevan Kallumpuram, Vice President and Head of Cyber Defense, National Stock Exchange of India, Mumbai, and Mr. Santosh Narayanan, GPU Power Modeling Architect, Intel Corporation, Bangaluru. Gloria Gopikumar was an alumna of 1988 batch of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Government Engineering College, Thrissur. She was settled in USA. This lecture is initiated by her classmates and friends in her memory. Now, for the welcome address, I would like to invite upon Dr. Mubarak A.K. Sir, Secretary, GCT Alumni Association.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, I wish to welcome you all to this session, Gloria Gopikumar Lecture Series, which is actually an initiative of 1988 Electronics batch in the memory of their dear friends and classmates, Mrs. Gloria Gopikumar. Through this lecture series, we not only honor her legacy, but also foster knowledge sharing on emerging technologies. Today's topic, exploring artificial intelligence, delves into one of the most transformative fields of our time. AI is revolutionizing industries from healthcare to finance and continues to push the boundaries of innovations. We are privileged to have two distinguished personalities with us today. Mr. Rajeevan Kallumpuram, alumni of 1989-93 ECE, Vice President or Head of Cyber Defense, NSC Mumbai, will share his insights on AI's role in cyber security, a crucial domain in today's world. On behalf of GEC Thrissur and GECT Alumni Association, I welcome you, sir. Mr. Santosh Narayanan is also 1983-93 EC batch, a GPU power modeling architect, Intel Corporation, Bangalore, who will provide us with an in-depth perspective on AI hardware and computational advancement. On behalf of GC Thrissur and GCT Alumni Association, JECTA, I welcome you, sir. Dr. Vrindavi Nair, our beloved faculty and former HOD of ECE department, and now a consultant at KDISC. She is also the classmate of Gloria Gopikumar, who will deliver the commemorate talk on Gloria. On behalf of GEC Thrissur and GECT Alumni Association, JECTA, I welcome you, ma'am. A special welcome to Dr. Roy Francis, HOD, Tajuddin Sir, CAPE Director, and esteemed faculty members, Gloria Gopikumar's friends and relatives, and dear students, whose presence enriches this gathering. Let us make this session an engaging and insightful experience. Wishing you all a wonderful and thoughtful, provoking discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mubarak sir. Now, for the commemorative talk, I would like to welcome Dr. Brinda V. Nair, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible and visible too?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mubarak, for the introducing us. And I'm very happy to be part of this this program. So just to introduce you to our dear friend Gloria. to those students who are sitting there and those who have joined online. I may switch to Malayalam because things or words from the heart, the feeling could be conveyed mostly in our mother tongue. അപ്പം അതുകൊണ്ട് മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ ഗ്ലോറിയയെ കുറിച്ച് കുറച്ച് ഓർമ്മകളാണ്. ഇത് ഓരോ വർഷവും ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ ഒരു ലെക്ചർ സെഷന് മുന്നായിട്ട് ഗ്ലോറിയയുടെ സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ ആരെങ്കിലും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഓർമ്മകൾ, ഗ്ലോറിയയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഓർമ്മകളൊന്ന് പങ്കുവെക്കാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഈ കേൾക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികൾക്കും ആരാണ് ഈ ഗ്ലോറിയ എന്നും, ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ഹാള് ഗ്ലോറിയയുടെ പേരിലുള്ളൊരു ഹാളാണ് എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു കാണുമല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ ഗ്ലോറിയയെ കുറിച്ച് ഞങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിലുള്ള ഓർമ്മകൾ ഒരു 5 മിനിറ്റ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ 7ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ തൊട്ട് ഗ്ലോറിയയെ അറിയാം. ഞാനൊരു സ്കൂള് മാറി തൃശ്ശൂര് സേക്രഡ് ഹാർട്ട് കോൺവെന്റ് ഗേൾസ് ഹൈസ്കൂളിൽ വരുമ്പോഴാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു അസംബ്ലി ഉണ്ടാവുമല്ലോ, സ്കൂൾ അസംബ്ലി. അപ്പൊ ആ അസംബ്ലിയുടെ ഏറ്റവും മുൻനിരയിൽ ഒരു കൊച്ചുകുട്ടി നിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും. വളരെ വളരെ എന്താ പറയാ, എനർജറ്റിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കുട്ടി. പിന്നെ പലപ്പോഴും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ് ലീഡറും ഒക്കെ ആയിരുന്നു പല സമയങ്ങളിൽ. എനിക്ക് വളരെ അത്ഭുതവും കൗതുകവും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടാണ് ഈ ഗ്ലോറിയ. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളുടെ 10-60 കുട്ടികളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സില് ഇതേപോലെ ആ ക്ലാസ്സിനെ ഒന്നിച്ച് ലീഡ് ചെയ്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോകാനൊക്കെ ഈ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സുഹൃത്തിന് കഴിയുമായിരുന്നു. അന്നത്തെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ അധ്യാപകരുടെയും ഒക്കെ ഒരു വളരെ ഫേവററ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡന്റുമായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. കാരണം പല കാര്യങ്ങളിലും ഈ ക്ലാസ്സിനെ ഒന്നിപ്പിച്ച് കൊണ്ടുപോകാനും അതുപോലെ പല വിഷയങ്ങളും ഒരു നല്ലൊരു പ്രാസംഗിക കൂടിയായിരുന്നു.
ഹലോ
ഹലോ
ഹലോ ടീച്ചറെ നെറ്റ് ചെറുതായിട്ടൊരു ഇഷ്യൂ ഉണ്ട്, ലാഗിങ് ആവുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ടീച്ചർ ഒന്ന് വീഡിയോ ഓഫ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ സൗണ്ട് ചിലപ്പോ.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് ട്രൈ ബൈ സ്വിച്ചിങ് ഓഫ് ദ വീഡിയോ. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങള് ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? അപ്പൊ ബ്രേക്ക് ഉണ്ടോ വോയിസില്?
അല്ല, കേൾക്കാം.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വന്നത് ഇതാണ്. സ്കൂളിൽ 7ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ പരിചയം തുടങ്ങുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ക്ലാസ് ലീഡർ ആയിരുന്നു, അതുപോലെ നല്ലൊരു പ്രാസംഗികയായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. പല എലക്യൂഷൻ അതുപോലെ എക്സ്റ്റംബറിലൊക്കെ ഗ്ലോറിയ വളരെ ഇതായിട്ട് പ്രസംഗിക്കാറുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് ഒക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ വളരെ അത്ഭുതത്തോടും കൗതുകത്തോടും കൂടിയൊക്കെ അത് കേട്ട് നിൽക്കും. കൂടാതെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒടുവിൽ സ്കൂൾ ക്യാപ്റ്റൻ തന്നെ, അതായത് നമ്മളുടെ സ്കൂൾ ലീഡർ എന്ന് പറയുമല്ലോ, ആ ഒരു പൊസിഷനിലും ഗ്ലോറിയ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അതായത് സ്കൂൾ ക്യാപ്റ്റൻ. അപ്പൊ ജനറലി ഒരു കൊച്ചുകുട്ടിയായിരുന്നു, അതായത് ഞങ്ങളെയൊക്കെ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വളരെ ക്യൂട്ടായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. ഈ സേക്രഡ് ഹാർട്ട് സ്കൂളിൽ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ ചെറിയ ക്ലാസ് മുതൽക്ക് പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം ഈ കൊമമറേറ്റീവ് ടോക്ക് അല്ല, അത് ലെക്ചർ തന്ന മീര ഗോവിന്ദ് തന്നെ, ഞങ്ങളുടെ തന്നെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ്. അവരെല്ലാം ഈ LKG മുതൽക്ക് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കഴിയുന്നവരെ ഒന്നിച്ച് പഠിച്ച ആൾക്കാരാണ്. ഞാൻ ഇവരോട് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് 7ാം ക്ലാസ് മുതൽക്കായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഈ 10 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ തൃശ്ശൂർ തന്നെയുള്ള സെന്റ് മേരീസ് കോളേജിലായിരുന്നു. പിന്നീട് അന്നത്തെ പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രി എന്നാണ് പറയാ, +1 +2 പകരം പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രി ആണ് ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചത്. അത് സെന്റ് മേരീസ് കോളേജിലാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചത്. മാത്സ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് അന്നൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ്, ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, സെക്കൻഡ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, തേർഡ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, ഫോർത്ത് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്, അങ്ങനെയാണ്. അപ്പൊ മാത്സ് ഗ്രൂപ്പാണ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ്. ആ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് എടുത്ത് പഠിച്ചവരാണ് ഞങ്ങള്. അതിനുശേഷമാണ് പിന്നീട് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് എൻട്രൻസിന്റെ 3rd ബാച്ചാണ് ഞങ്ങള് എൻട്രൻസ് എഴുതുകയും പിന്നീട് ഗ്ലോറിയയും ഞാനും മീരയും, അതായത് ഈ സ്കൂളിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ ഉള്ള 3 പേരും കൂടാണ്ട് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ മറ്റു 3 ഗേൾസും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ 16 പേരുടെ ഒരു ചെറിയ ക്ലാസ് ആയിരുന്നു അന്ന് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ആൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ, ഗവൺമെന്റ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജ് തൃശ്ശൂരില്. അത് 2nd ബാച്ച് ആയിരുന്നു. അതായത് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ആൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എന്നുള്ള എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് തുടങ്ങുന്നത് 1983 അപ്പൊ ഫസ്റ്റ് ബാച്ച് 83 തുടങ്ങുന്നതാണ്. 84 ഞങ്ങള് 2nd ബാച്ച് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അപ്പൊ അന്ന് ഒക്കെ 15 പേരോ 16 പേരായിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ. പിന്നീടാണ് അത് 30 പേരും പിന്നീട് 45ഉം പിന്നീട് ഇപ്പോൾ 60 പേരുമായിട്ടുള്ള ബാച്ചായിട്ട് മാറിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങള് രണ്ടാമത്തെ ബാച്ചാണ് ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സ് ആൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ. അപ്പൊ ഗ്ലോറിയ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്റെ ഒരു ഓർമ്മയിൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വന്ന സമയത്ത് ഉണ്ടായ ചില വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിലത്തെ ഓർമ്മകൾ ഗ്ലോറിയയുടെ പങ്കിട്ടു. വളരെ വളരെ തമാശയോട് കൂടിയിട്ടും ഒക്കെ സംസാരിക്കുകയും അതുപോലെ ഈ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും ഇപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അന്ന് ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കുട്ടികൾക്കും ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സിലബസിലും ഉണ്ടെന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. കാർപ്പൻട്രി, അതുപോലെ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ, ഞങ്ങൾക്കത് പുതിയ അത് അന്ന് ഇതേപോലെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ ഗ്ലോറിയ അടങ്ങുന്ന ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ ചെറിയ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് അത് ആ വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിലത്തെ അനുഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വളരെ നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോഴും മനസ്സിലുണ്ട്. ഈ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗില് ഗ്ലോറിയ വളരെ ഒരു ഇന്റലിജന്റ് സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് മാത്രമല്ല, സ്കൂൾ മുതൽക്ക് ഞാൻ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം, വളരെ ഇന്റലിജന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. അപ്പം ഇപ്പൊ അത്ര അധികം വളരെയധികം ഹാർഡ് വർക്കിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളതായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിലും നമ്മളിടുന്ന എഫേർട്ടിന്റെ പകുതി എഫേർട്ട് ഇട്ടാലും ഗ്ലോറിയയുടെ ഒരു പെർഫോമൻസ് നമ്മളെക്കാൾ പലപ്പോഴും കൂടുതലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ആ രീതിയിൽ പല കാര്യങ്ങളിലും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുകയും എന്നാൽ ഇത് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പെർഫോമൻസ് വളരെ ഇത് വരികയും ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. ഈ 4 വർഷത്തെ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പഠനത്തിന്റെ അവസാനത്തില് സ്പൗസുമായിട്ട് US പിന്നീട് പോവുകയാണ് ഉണ്ടായത്. കൃഷ്ണൻ എന്നാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പേര്. അങ്ങനെ US പോയി മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് എടുക്കുകയും അതിനുശേഷം നമ്മളുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഡ്രീം കമ്പനി, ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മളുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ ടോക്ക് തരുന്ന ഒരാളും അതിലുണ്ട്, ഇന്റൽ എന്നുള്ള കമ്പനിയിലാണ് ഗ്ലോറിയ പിന്നീട് US ജോലി ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളും അതേസമയം ഞങ്ങള് പലരും അധ്യാപനത്തിലേക്കാണ് മാറിയത്. അപ്പൊ ഞാനും കൂടാതെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലാസ്സിലുള്ള ബീന, ഷീബ, മുഹമ്മദ് ഷരീഫ്, ഇങ്ങനെ പലരും ഈ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജുകളിലും പോളിടെക്നിക്കിലും അധ്യാപകരായി. അപ്പൊ ഇത് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഓർമ്മിക്കുന്നത്, ഞാൻ അധികവും മൈക്രോ പ്രോസസ്സറും ഡിജിറ്റൽ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക്സും മറ്റ് വിഷയങ്ങളും കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അന്ന് മൈക്രോ പ്രോസസ്സർ എന്നുള്ള വിഷയത്തില് 1886 മുതൽക്ക് തുടങ്ങി. 1886 ആണ് അതിന്റെ ഇതൊക്കെ പറയാനുള്ള ഒരു ഇതായിട്ട് എടുത്തിരുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ അവസാനത്തെ മോഡ്യൂളില് അന്നത്തെ സിലബസിൽ നമുക്ക് 386 പിന്നെ പെന്റിയം ഒക്കെ ആണ് പഠിപ്പിച്ചിരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അന്ന് വളരെ അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം ഞാൻ കുട്ടികളോട് പറയാറുള്ളത്, ഇതിന്റെ ഡിസൈനിൽ ഒരാള് പങ്കെടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് ആരാണെന്ന് അറിയോ? നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒക്കെ പോലെ ഇവിടെ ഇരുന്ന് പഠിച്ച് ഇതേ കോളേജിൽ ഇതേ എൻവയോൺമെന്റിൽ പഠിച്ച് പിന്നീട് ഈ ഇന്റലിൽ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത ഞങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാം കൂട്ടുകാരിയായിട്ടുള്ള ഗ്ലോറിയാണ് അത് എന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ അഭിമാനപൂർവ്വം ഞാൻ പലപ്പോഴും കുട്ടികളോട്, ഞാൻ പഠിപ്പിക്കാൻ ഇടയായിട്ടുള്ള കുട്ടികളോടും പറയാറുണ്ട്. ആ വിഷയമെല്ലാം എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എനിക്കും ഐ യൂസ് ടു ബി വെരി പ്രൗഡ് ഓഫ് ഹെർ. ആ ചിപ്പ് ഡിസൈനിങ് അതുപോലത്തെ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു വളരെ ഇതായിട്ടുള്ള റിസർച്ച് ഇതിലും പങ്കെടുത്തിരുന്ന ആളായിരുന്നു ഗ്ലോറിയ. പിന്നീട് കുറച്ച് വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് ശേഷം വോളണ്ടറി ആയിട്ട് ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് വിരമിക്കുകയാണ് ഗ്ലോറിയ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ളത്. നമ്മളെ വിട്ടു പോകുന്നതിന് പിന്നീട് അധികം കഴിയാതെ തന്നെ നമ്മളെ വിട്ടു പോവുകയും ചെയ്തു. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു ഇത് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വളരെയധികം ഷോക്കായിട്ടാണ് വന്നത്. നമ്മൾ ഒട്ടും പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാതിരിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു വാർത്ത ഞങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാം ഇടയിൽ വരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു ചെറിയ ഓർമ്മ പങ്കുവെച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ചിലുള്ളവരും സ്കൂളിൽ പഠിച്ചവരുമായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഒരു ഭാഗത്ത് നിന്ന് അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഈ ഓർമ്മ ഞാൻ സമർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന കുട്ടികൾക്കും ഗ്ലോറിയെ കുറിച്ച്, ആരാണ് ഗ്ലോറിയ എന്ന് മനസ്സിലായി കാണുന്നു ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങളുടെ എല്ലാം കൊച്ചു കൂട്ടുകാരിയായിരുന്ന ഗ്ലോറിയയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ ഇത് സമർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you, Vrinda ma'am, for sharing us the memories with Gloria Gopikumar. Now, heading towards the talk, we have Mr. Rajeevan Kallumpuram, Vice President, Cybersecurity at National Stock Exchange of India, who is a seasoned cybersecurity leader with 30 plus years of expertise in IT, enterprise security, and cyber risk management. With an MBA in Information Systems and an alumnus of GEC Thrissur, BTech ECE 1993, he holds CISSP and CISM certifications. His expertise spans security strategy, governance, risk management, and incident response. Having worked with Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, and NSE, he has deep expertise in designing and operationalizing cybersecurity frameworks. A recognized speaker, he has presented at international conferences including RSA 2018 and ISC2 Security Congress 2019 and Blockchain and Security Orchestration. Next, I would also like to invite Mr. Santosh Narayanan, GPU Power Modeling Architect at Intel. He has 27 plus years of experience in digital signal and image processing, networking, and GPU hardware architecture. He leads power estimation and modeling for future Intel GPUs, spanning concept to silicon. Previously, he worked on communications processors at Intel's data center group and contributed to wireless LAN, HDTV, and imaging systems. An alumnus of GEC Thrissur, BTech ECE 1993, he holds MS degrees from IIT Chennai and USC. With experience at Sasken Phillips, Eger, and Tata Elski, he has authored research papers and holds 6 USPTO patents. I would like to welcome you both.
Gloria. First and foremost, we would like to express our thanks, sincere thanks to GCT alumni, our dear engineering college, and the EC department, and all the staff for organizing this event and inviting us to present as part of this lecture series in the memory of our illustrious senior. It's a great feeling to be in campus after so many years and addressing such an august gathering like this, which comprises of several faculty members. Some of them are seniors and a lot of students. Yeah. The topic for today is exploring artificial intelligence. As Mubarak sir rightly said, it has been one of the transformative technologies which has been influencing every aspect of our lives. So today it's a wide topic, as you can imagine. So we intend to cover some of our thoughts, some of our insights into various dimensions of this. What is the potential of this? What are certain use cases? So the overall agenda, we will start with an introduction to some of the basic concepts here. Some of the basic definitions. Some of this we all know probably. And some of the key models, what is the classification, before we dive into some very interesting use cases. Some of the sectors that we have picked up use cases is and finance, smart cities, in defense and healthcare. And subsequently, we'll cover certain other dimensions of this area. That's something which has been much talked about in media and everywhere, like on the various challenges related to any powerful technologies beset with a lot of challenges and potential for misuse. Our perspectives on that, the various challenges, how these are being addressed, what is the way they can be addressed, and also on the future directions before we conclude and discuss some of the takeaways from this. Okay, so let's start with something interesting. So this is, we are going to share with you a video clip. This is from the CES 2025, which happened earlier this month. So CES is a consumer electronics show which happens every year in Vegas, Las Vegas. So it is a mega show in which a lot of the tech companies, Intel, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, a lot of companies, they set up their booths. So it is a very long preparatory exercise for people working in the companies. There will be spread task forces. So there are certain cool demos which will kind of set the stage of, will give you an impression on how various ways AI is influencing our daily lives. Okay.
Day 2 of CES 2025, and the buzz is electric. The show floor is alive with cutting-edge announcements, robots at every corner, and AI in nearly every booth. Everywhere you look, you're met with phrases like autonomous systems and machine learning. But what does this mean for us? How is technology evolving to transform our daily lives? Let's dive into the most extraordinary innovations unveiled at CES this year. Innovations that feel like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie, but are here today. AI-driven displays. Samsung stole the spotlight with its stretchable micro LED display. Imagine a screen that morphs, literally, into raised or flat areas depending on the content you're viewing. Advanced software decides which parts of the screen to expand, making it a game changer for gamers, medical professionals, and beyond. The future of interactive displays is here, but it doesn't stop there. This innovation opens up new possibilities for education and training. Think about medical students practicing surgeries with interactive 3D models, or architects presenting designs with topographical accuracy right on their screens. For gamers, this could revolutionize immersion, where each bullet, ripple, or terrain shift feels tangible. How long before this technology becomes a household staple, integrated into everything from smartphones to tabletops? With Samsung leading the charge, we might not have to wait long. Robots that do it all. The SwitchBot household robot took multitasking to a whole new level. This little powerhouse doesn't just vacuum. It organizes your home, purifies the air, monitors your pets, and even delivers snacks. What sets it apart? It's powered by machine learning, meaning it gets smarter with every task. Could this be the ultimate home assistant we've been dreaming of? This isn't just a gadget. It's a glimpse into the smart homes of tomorrow.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Day 2 of CES 2025, and the buzz is electric.
Okay, so that gave you a glimpse of various innovative ways in which AI is influencing our daily lives. So before we go further, let's go through some of the basic definitions. The reason why we put together this slide is like many of these terms have been used interchangeably. So this is the overall canvas. This is again courtesy of one of the IEEE proceedings in some years back. So AI, the field of AI probably was introduced in the 1950s, as early as the 1950s. It is science and engineering, the human quest for building intelligent machines. So there are various aspects, theoretical aspects of intelligent machines that was that started off in the 1950s. It remained in the theoretical realm. The next important definition that we come across in our daily life, even in the video you saw, that is machine learning. So what is machine learning? It is actually a subset of AI, the overall science of so this pertains to specific methods, the study of methods, systems, which have the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So to explain it further, like in a very conventional programming paradigm, you have a complex set of instructions. A particular task is being executed, a particular computation is being done by a sequence of instructions. So in this case, it is like you are training a system by feeding it a lot of data, and the machine is learning various patterns from the data, either with supervision or by itself in an unsupervised manner. And that knowledge is being utilized for making inferences or making decisions later. So there are two modalities to this area of machine learning. That is training and the inference. So the training part involves building the intelligence of the machine. Okay. Another subset. So machine learning by itself comprises of various methods, not just neural networks, brain-inspired computing technologies. So even the simple linear regression, various statistical models, there are other, it has been evolved. So one big subset of machine learning, which is of greater interest in recent times, that is the brain-inspired computing. So under brain-inspired computing, again, like there are various classifications. One is what is called as neural networks. So these are neural networks. It derives the concept was derived based on how human brains, how computation can mimic the model of the human brain. A word of caution, it is our human neural network is much more complex, orders of magnitude complex. So this is just, it is inspired by that concept. The concept of taking inputs, various sensory inputs, and it is given different weighting, and based on that certain computations are done, certain patterns are being learned, and that intelligence is being used and execute on various complex tasks like image recognition, speech recognition, etc. And again, within neural networks, there is another category, which is deep neural networks or deep learning. So the distinction there is, like, over the years, neural networks have increased in complexity in terms of the number of layers, the number of these days there are neural networks which have hundreds of layers. So those are that is what is called as deep learning. There is another category here under brain inspired, which is another vast topic in research, which is called spiking or neuromorphic computing. So that goes one step further in mimicking the human brain, in the sense like the way human brain works is in an asynchronous manner. So it consists of computational structures which deal with a sparse set of asynchronous events. So this is very much in the stage of infancy. There are already chips out there, but yeah, we'll be focusing more on the neural networks and the deep learning side of the work in this talk. Yeah, let's go one step further. This is if you look at AI or ML models or neural network models, what are the broad classification we can do? One is called discriminative models. So discriminative models refer to a case where you have some known outputs. You are giving the inputs for which you have you know what are the outputs. Say like in an image recognition problem, and you train this network so that it is capable of recognizing correctly, giving the desired outputs. So we call this learning methodology as supervised learning. So under this category, there are many techniques, many classical techniques also, like regression, some statistical models. You might be familiar with the Gaussian model, like more complex statistical models like Gaussian mixture models, etc. And neural network models like convolutional neural networks. So convolutional neural network is a very popular neural network model under this category. Very simply put, it consists of various convolutional layers. You can think of the convolutional layers as something like a filter or a feature extractor. So if it is like a problem of speech recognition, certain aspects of the speech it extracts. And similarly, you have multiple such layers which enable you to extract multiple features. And integrating all this, you are able to build a system which is capable of doing the task. And there are various other things. I have just shown some of the things. Another popular one in this category is residual neural network. There was a famous paper published in 2015. I mean, it was a kind of revolutionary network model in those days, in the sense it addressed some of the problems in the neural networks in those days. Like when it was a situation when you have more and more layers in the neural networks, it was the performance was saturated. So ResNet has some very powerful techniques which help solve that problem. I don't want to get into much of the details here in the interest of time. The other category is generative models, which has been a sensation in recent times, especially in the come across terms like generative AI all those things like technologies like ChatGPT. And in recent times, there was in the last week, you would have heard of the Chinese release, the DeepSeek. So all in this case, unlike the discriminative models, it is not trained with known outputs. It is an unsupervised learning in the sense like you're feeding it a large amount of data, and the network infers various patterns and forms various observations, categorizations based on how it learns those patterns. And this intelligence is used for further predictions or inferences. So, some of the popular networks here are generator adversarial networks, large language models, all those things like natural language processing tasks, text to text, text to image translation, all those things. So these popular AI models like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, all of those come under LLMs. And there is also other models like diffusion, which is like text to image translators. So just to give a flavor of some of the very popular networks and the broad classification of AI/ML models. Before we jump into the use cases, I just want to also discuss this one aspect. So why use these techniques? I mean, the need for using such models came from the case of problem spaces where you have highly nonlinear relationships between the input and output. So if it is a very linear relationship between the input and output, you can use very simple models. So when the relationship, I mean, in problem spaces like speech recognition, natural language processing, etc., where it is very complex to infer the output based on the, or there are like a lot of input parameters. So it is that is where the applicability of such models came into picture. And also in situations where you don't have very standard mathematical or statistical models. So for example, in to model noise, white noise in communication system, we have the Gaussian model fits very well. So in many of these problem spaces, such standard statistical models you can't apply, they don't fit in. And another case is where you have to learn based on a lot of data. Suppose it's like something like automated driving. So you have to continuously learn large amounts of data. So another point before we jump into the next section is, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, like all these techniques were invented, came into being much earlier in the 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. So what has spiked the interest in the last decade or the last few years? And it is now everybody talks about this technology. So there are two reasons. One is the advances in computing power with powerful processors like GPUs, tensor cores, etc., which are capable of highly parallel computing. So it is possible to implement these complex networks and do these computations. And also the second thing is with the internet and the connectivity, there is a humongous amount of data which is available. So any data-driven processing, data-driven models can be implemented with sufficient reliability. Okay. Thank you, Santosh. So now Santosh has taken me through the fundamental technicalities behind the scene of the happening in an model and a framework. Now, let us explore currently what is here in artificial intelligence, which is in action. How this artificial intelligence features touching our daily life. So here you can see in each and every domains or industries or areas of our daily life, you will feel some level of artificial intelligence being deployed. Okay. So I will take you through certain areas where AI is being used right now. The place where I work today, that is the National Stock Exchange of India. So there, on a daily basis, a huge number of financial transactions are being had. Financial transaction, in sense, it is in terms of share trading as well as the corresponding financial transactions that is being happened. So how AI is being used in that kind of environment? That is what I'm trying to mention in this section. So, as we all know, that artificial intelligence is about processing huge amount of data, right? Huge amount of data, and it is capable of taking decisions, giving outputs in terms of whatever learning the system has brought out from this huge amount of data. So, yeah. National Stock Exchange and similar exchanges. National Stock Exchange is one of the top 10 stock exchanges in the world. It is having millions and millions of transactions happening in a day, in a market day. Right? So those kind of huge transaction data, how we can process and get intelligence. That is only through this kind of solution. That is what we require. So then, so there is something called algorithmic trading. That is, the system itself will take decisions learning from what is happening there, learning from historical data and currently what is happening, that real-time data, and learning from that can predict what is how the share values or trading volumes are going to change. That prediction can be there, and depending on those learnings, the system itself can decide how to invest, on which type of skills you have to invest. All those things can be, those decisions can be taken through this artificial model development. Sorry, artificial intelligence models. Then another important key area is about detecting any kind of malicious activity that is happening, say financial frauds or such kind of anomaly detection. That is a key area where AI helps a lot. That is near impossible for human. People working and monitoring a system and find out any financial fraud that is happening. So there also AI is coming to help and protect the investors and the participants in the environment. Now another important area where AI is being used is in the smart cities. And over to Santosh.
So, a smart city, it's again a very catchphrase, right? In recent times. So, whether there are various aspects to this, one thing where AI comes into picture is autonomous vehicles. So autonomous vehicles means it is not just like self-driving cars, it is an entire spectrum. So we call that in industries advanced driver assist systems. So there are various technologies like which will help the driver to drive safely, which will enable vehicle movement in a very safe manner. The most advanced being self-driving cars. So AI has played a very significant role. So one of the projects which was done in India, in the city of Nagpur, that was pertaining to road safety. So it's called IRASTE. There were many industries and academic institutions. In fact, our senior Jawahar, when he gave the lecture 2 years back, I think he presented that. So that is enhancing safety. That is another very important aspects. So wherein AI can help in terms of detecting any, making sure that there is lane discipline if any vehicles are driving dangerously, give an advance warning. So even a few seconds early warning can avert a lot of accidents. That is one of the learnings from the IRASTE project. And of course, for people like me and Rajeevan who come from metros like Bangalore and Mumbai, traffic congestion, that's a big problem. So managing, so with smart public transport systems, it's not just driving alone. With the connected traffic lights and all that, the intelligent traffic management, making sure that essential vehicles like ambulances, fire service, etc., they are not blocked. So it is a whole range of things which you can do. So the possibilities where AI can help in public transport is enormous. Another aspect where AI plays a big role is in smart energy grids. So when we talk about energy, right? So there are like traditional hydroelectric based systems, thermal, nuclear, and there is increasing interest in renewable energies. So renewable energies, there are certain challenges, even whether you take wind energy or solar energy, because the availability of the power generation capability depends on climate conditions, depends on the weather. So where AI plays a role, one of the roles is in terms of accurate climate modeling, accurate positioning of panels, and in situations where there is less scope for generating renewable energy, schedule the systems for the wind turbines or solar panels for maintenance, changing the alignment of solar panels, etc., in a very consistent and optimized manner. So that way, the power generation is maximized. Another thing is in terms of interconnection of smart grids and very intelligent power wheeling. What is power wheeling? Like you have surplus power and you want to transmit it, share it with other grids. So with smart energy grids, such things are all very much possible. So you can conserve energy, you can optimize the distribution of energy. And similarly, from a consumer angle, like study the demand response patterns, like find out which are the peak times, anticipate how much energy requirement is there at particular area, particular time of the day, making sure making a systematic arrangement for providing that. And similarly, when you have surplus, you make sure that you distribute it to other grids, other areas, etc. The third very important thing is public safety and surveillance. So, I mean, these days, drones coupled with AI have been employed in various situations where there are like huge crowds, events in remote areas for the safety of people. Try to figure out any anomalies, any criminal activities happening, and give early warning to police authorities. The same technology can be used by law enforcement authorities to track criminals, try to find out using facial recognition technology, etc. Yeah. So these are some of the many aspects of AI in smart cities. Yeah, let's look into some defense uses. Yeah. So I'll take you through a few aspects of artificial intelligence that is being used in defense as well as in cyber security, cyber defense. Yeah. So, first one is about surveillance operations, how you can utilize AI features in surveillance operations. Using that cameras, sensors, and similar things, you can capture the videos and photos and other uh, let's say climatic conditions, many such things we can capture and put it in a uh, big data platform, and then using AI features to analyze it and uh, get outputs, take decisions. Yeah. This is the key use case about surveillance, and for other elements like recognize sense, that you identify the system surroundings, what kind of adversary things are there present. You can identify the things. You can do a scanning in the environment. Then for combat operations as well, AI is being used widely. And coming to cybersecurity threat detections. Again, they're also on the internet. It's about access and access of huge volumes of data across the internet, and corporate and internal private networks. Right there, we on a daily basis we hear about a lot of attacks, cyber attacks that are being happened across the world, right? So, in this scenario, how artificial intelligence is being used to help us? Yes, that is again the same way. You process this data in a big data platform, use this log data as well as the traffic data, analyze it using the related relevant artificial intelligence models, and get decisions about how to defend any kind of malicious activities on the internet. Okay. So, here, this deep fake detection that you see here, there is a solution made by Intel for detecting deep fake videos and yeah, mainly deep fake videos. You must be knowing what is deep fake videos, right? Uh, you will see a person, maybe celebrity or a well-known person, who is giving lectures or talks about something very, totally different from his views or his opinion, right? That kind of deep fake videos, a lot of things we can see nowadays. So how you will detect that? That is this solution, a deepfake detection solution. That is fake capture as a solution, which is leveraging artificial intelligence. Similarly, using machine learning. And in cybersecurity, another key aspect of leveraging artificial intelligence is we just touched upon it, that fraud detection. That's also in the cybersecurity area that is falling into that area. We can using fraud detection solutions, which behind the scene uses artificial intelligence models that will be used widely in for defending fraud frauds that is happening in digital banking or digital financial environment. Next, I will take it. Santosh can. Yeah. Another very important area where AI can play a role. I would emphasize the fact that here upfront that AI can play the role of a very good assistant to medical professionals. One is in medical imaging, and so in analyzing the same technology which helps analyzing images, characterizing object detection, etc., can be used in medical images, whether it is CT scans or MRI scans or PET scans, to identify anomalies, early detection of any anomalies, which coupled with medical experts' view on that, can help in early treatment. Not only in medical imaging, there are various scenarios, various interesting scenarios where you can detect diseases. I was a few days back, I was reading on one video, where a person from Nigeria, it's actually a TED talk available on YouTube. So there is, for newborn babies, especially in rural areas and due to birthing complications, etc., they can get into a situation called hypoxia, where there is less oxygen supply to the brain. So which, if not treated within a few hours, that would mean death or very severe neurological conditions. So what this gentleman has done, yes, worked with he's a startup, and he's worked with some of the universities to develop a convolutional neural network which takes the spectrograms of the cry signals. So babies, cries of babies with asphyxia or hypoxia, there are certain very key characteristics which is identified. And he's built an app which will help the primary health clinic to detect signs of hypoxia. So that it is very crucial and impactful in the sense that the doctor in the private health, primary health clinic can immediately refer the baby to a hospital which has the treatment facility. So such innovative use cases are available. And extending thinking in the same lines, predictive analytics. So AI's capability of analyzing data from a lot of samples, which will help identify certain patterns in our blood tests and anything, to find out early warning signs and inform the family physicians so that they can have a further look at it. And also in designing personalized treatment plans. So all this results in early disease detection, improved patient management. Yeah. So we saw a lot of use cases in various sectors. So let me ask you a question. So what do you think of AI? I mean, is it without any problems? Is it something which is altruistic? It is something which is good for humankind in every sense of the way? Feel free. Yes? No?
It has both merits as well as demerits. Like, both it poses a challenge as well as it is a useful for us.
Okay. What do you think could be the challenges? Just say something.
Like it poses like unemployment for people. Like nowadays, in some houses there are jobs like even homemakers and all, or like servants and all. Now, as we saw that it can be used for AI has replaced those jobs. Like we are having some machineries for cleaning houses as well as for delivering things. So it can spread a lot, and this AI can replace many jobs. So first of all, that is a challenge it has posed. Then talking about even teaching has not been much replaced, but a physical teacher is a necessary one. But nowadays we can see there are many robotics and such things coming for delivering such speeches or like giving information, and also in such a way also they are replacing.
Valid points. Thank you. So, yeah, I was listening to one of the interviews in YouTube. You can see that one of the founding fathers of AI. Yeah, let me ask you a question. Who are the Nobel laureates in 2024 in physics? Yeah, this is for AI, the founding fathers of AI. It was awarded in 2024. John Hopfield and Jeffrey Hinton. So Jeffrey Hinton, it's an interview in YouTube, and he talks about this entire tryst with AI from the 60s, where he was people kind of discouraged him in trying such esoteric things and all the advances. So in that same talk, he also expressed a lot of his concerns in some of the potential misuses of AI. So, as you rightly said, any powerful technology, any powerful system, right, you can always flip it around and misuse it. Rajeevan explained the case of deepfakes. It's true of any technologies. So let's look at some of the challenges. As you rightly said, job displacement, economic impact, that is one thing. Then there are a bunch of other things, like because you are building a system which is based on training with a lot of data. So suppose your data is not diverse enough. So you tend to build a system which is biased in a specific manner. So that is in popular terminology, it is called training bias. Algorithmic bias. So the algorithm design itself, say for example, if it is evaluating an insurance underwriter, evaluating the insurance premium of a customer for something, a car or a health insurance. So if the algorithm is weighted towards certain parameters in a manner which is very much biased, it could be based on certain ethnicity or certain age or something like that. So that is an issue. In situations like large language models, where there is a lot of subjectivity, there could be a lot of cultural biases. So you ask a question, so the language in which your chatbot replies, if it doesn't take into account some of the cultural sensitivities or societal sensitivities, it may be different in different geographies. And of course, there are ethical concerns. And there have been, recently there was an instance of Microsoft's Copilot giving very rude and insensitive replies to a person suffering from PTSD. And of course, just like any system or any human being, there are certain limitations. So especially in areas like healthcare and all that, where misjudgment. I mean, suppose you're giving a medical image to an AI system and it says that, okay, you are in perfect health, when it is otherwise. If it is the other way around, probably it is okay. So that can be a serious issue. And another aspect is accountability. We'll discuss a little bit more on the investigation part of it. I mean, we as scientists and engineers, if you're given a system, when it is such a beautiful system, you're giving an input, you're getting some output. We're not fully happy, right? I mean, we want to be convinced. We have to have some handle on how exactly it's doing it. We want some insight into that. That gives us the more transparency, the more trust it gives. So these are certain issues. So we just spoke about various challenges. So among those challenges, again, data protection also is very important. So how data protection coming or challenges to data security, how it is coming in terms of artificial intelligence in this area. It is something like see, in an AI model, you will train the system with some training data initially, right? And then it will be taken to the normal deployment where you will test the model and get outputs. Right? If the training data itself is getting poisoned, so you're training data, somebody somehow, I'm not getting into how it is possible, but some maybe some hacking or a result of some hacking systems or whatever way, the data is getting poisoned, then it will impact the overall system stability itself, right? So that is one aspect of that. And So there are different terms that is being used, like prompt injection, data injection, data poisoning. All those things are coming into the picture in terms of data protection in this area. Okay. Another aspect is about sensitive data disclosure. For example, if a model is being misused somehow, being misused to expose the uh, privacy data of users. Okay, like in a banking system, if you have a chatbot which is giving bank account details of the customers, and somehow if it is getting misused or hacked, then it can generate or it can fetch the data from the behind the scenes database for all the customers of the bank, and it is getting leaked. This the PIL data, privacy data of the customers are getting exposed to hackers or any other attackers. So this privacy data, data privacy also key, a very important aspect of especially artificial intelligence and challenges about that. So how we will mitigate it? What we can do to address these challenges? Okay. Then we can explain what is yeah, we talked about accountability as an issue. You have whatever, however brilliant the system is, total black box kind of thing doesn't exude transparency. So there have been methods. There has been a lot of research in what we call as XAI, explainable AI. Because in certain sectors like healthcare or like aircrafts, where the criticality of the decision, even in autonomous way, you need some sort of explainability of the model. So there are the big challenge with the AI systems is you have several thousands and thousands of parameters. So in the system. So the good thing is there have been significant research on methods without which are model agnostic, in the sense like you don't get inside the black box and change each of the parameters, but simple simple approaches. If I explain in a bit more simplified way, suppose you have a system where you have multiple inputs and it's giving an output. So you want to study the influence of each of these inputs. So you tweak it, give it certain random values, take combinations of this, and use that the kind of outputs that you get to develop a certain characteristic that gives you an analysis. So in those lines, there have been simpler and more complex models, and it's an evolving area. And definitely one of the mitigations to the challenges, and also a future research on that. So one key area where we have to focus is arriving at a regulatory framework or governance framework, artificial intelligence governance framework. What does it mean? See, as we discussed earlier, the innovators are inventing new features and leveraging AI. We are deploying new systems to help our help day-to-day activities, right? Now, there should be a regulation. As we discussed, every new invention can have a flip side of that, and people can misuse the inventions, right? So how we can leverage the positive side of it? How we can bring it to help the mankind? That is where we need to focus on. For that, there should be a governance mechanism. There should be um, uh, do's and don'ts for the people who are participating in this exercise or exercise. So there should be a collaboration between academia, industries, governments, and all those things are very important. So what AI model should do, and what kind of inputs it should take, and what kinds of output it should deliver. Those things should be regulated properly, so that it will be helpful for all the people. Now, across the world, various entities are working on defining governance frameworks for artificial intelligence. In European Union, there is a Use AI Act, which is already there in practice now, but most other countries and other corporates and other entities, they are working on defining practicable governance framework. Yeah. So I just wanted to, before we close off, just wanted to touch upon some of the emerging trends. Explainable AI, the concept of explainable AI is very powerful. And then ethical AI, what it means is like at an individual level, as an engineer or a developer level, at an organization level, there has to be built-in ethical standards, legal aspects, regulatory aspects. So building systems which has those kind of checks and balances within, and collaborative AI, because all said and done, AI is something which is augment human intelligence, never to replace. So there are certain things where machines can do extremely well. There are certain things where our intelligence works much better. So that kind of collaborative systems. Then one of the emerging most powerful computing paradigms is quantum computing. So when quantum computing comes into the picture, so the computational power increases manifold. So that, along with AI, is a deadly combination. So even training ML algorithms, the networks that can be built using quantum circuits, that's a whole new area in itself. It's a whole ocean in itself. Just some of the points which I want to touch upon. So before we conclude, since you have got a lot of students here, so in terms of the AI world, I mean, sir, definitely, I mean, I am sure that there will be very good courses in your curriculum. That is the first line of approach. Projects which you do with the help of your faculty members. This can be augmented with various courses and certifications, either during your curriculum as a side activity or after. So there are various types of courses, things which will augment, help your programming skills in languages like Python, the various packages which are helpful for implementing deep learning networks. There are certifications. There is a certification course from IAC after graduation, which also has good reviews. And developing interdisciplinary knowledge. I mean, you said the point about job displacement. So whenever there is job loss in one segment, there are many avenues that open up. So we have to be proactive in terms of building interdisciplinary knowledge. Several avenues where AI is applied. So to apply that, we need to have that interdisciplinary knowledge. So that and other like future trends, keeping on top of it. Also, I will say 2 words of caution. I mean, AI is a very powerful technology, but it is not the only solution. I mean, there are very many avenues in engineering, various branches of engineering, which are equally powerful. So, applying AI in a judicious way, whenever the problem demands it, I mean, that should be a right approach. And also the aspects of a responsible development, taking care of all the ethical considerations. These are the takeaways which we want to give to the student community. As we discussed, AI is all about huge volume of data, processing huge volume of data with accuracy, which is otherwise not possible for human beings. Right? So, deploy AI wherever it is required in a responsible manner. That is very important. And there should be as Santosh mentioned also, it should be a collaboration between human and artificial intelligence systems. It should not be that we are delegating everything to AI to work on and taking AI taking decisions. That is not the way it should be. a collaboration between human and AI systems, and we should be doing it in a responsible manner. That is very important. Let us get on to Q&A. Answer your queries. Please come up. Feel free to ask any question.
Good morning, sir. I have a question. That is, I recently came across an article about one of Instagram's user policies. It talks about how the posted instances are being used to train AI. So this means that artists are basically who post their art on this platform, their data is being used to train AI models. So without even giving them proper credit. So how do you think we can tackle this issue?
Yeah, let me grasp the question. So is it like several art pictures have been taken without permission?
This article that basically says that except in European countries where there are regulations on this, there are other countries that does not have any regulations on this. So those countries, users in those specific countries, the data that they post on Instagram is being used to train AI models.
Yeah, which is a serious issue. So that is the reason why all this governance frameworks. So as Rajeevan mentioned, so in EU, European Union, there is some AI Act, but even that is rudimentary, and many of the things have to evolve in terms of regulatory policies, etc. So that the copyrighted material is not used. Data privacy is protected. So, yeah, that's an issue, serious issue.
So you say that we have to, like, our government should make stricter policies on this basis and should be more aware?
Yes, there has to be responsibility at every level, the individual, the society, the corporate level, and in terms of the government.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? No more questions? Is everything clear or nothing is clear? Yeah.
So can we enable, like, or can we make such invention, like in mobile phones, we can avail some detection things, like as we said, fraud detection or like sensing the fake persons. So nowadays we can see the people are using the images of someone and making pictures out of that and ruining someone or for making negative things. So nowadays we can see such things. So how can we detect whether, like, how can we make it available on our fingertips, like in mobile phones, to detect whether that picture is original one or like is it a fake one, like that. So can it make available in our mobile phones, and is it possible?
Yeah, the one example which Rajeevan presented, the cyber security case, I mean, of the fake catcher. So that is a real-time app. I'm not just giving the example of Intel's fake catcher alone to promote Intel, but there are other such fake catchers which do it in real time. So, and they use very innovative methods, and so that's one example of where AI is creating the problem. It is is capable of giving the solution also. So yeah, it is possible to. I'm sure there are apps which you can do that.
I'm asking one more question. Can government ban on some apps we have seen that for doing this morphing and all some other things? So why can't the government ban such apps? Like there are many apps which are causing these troubles and all. So such policies and all should implement. So what are your opinions on that?
I think there are quite a few apps that are banned.
But nowadays we can see more and more.
It's more, yeah. It's a huge plethora of such apps that is coming in. So it is. I'll give some instances what we faced in my company, National Stock Exchange. So our CEO is giving talks on YouTube, telling that I will give in a weekly basis 2-3 shares which people can buy, and definitely it will give you huge returns in a short period of time. Okay, so about 6 months back, on a daily basis, we were getting such videos in the YouTube ads when it is coming out. It is being displayed. This video clips are being played, and we were trying to take it down through YouTube admin and teams behind the scenes. But we were facing challenges there also. There straight away we cannot directly approach them, and they will do initial validation of this, whether it is a benign or non-benign. Those things they will do initial checkup, but it takes time. So we had to approach the High Court there, and we got a court order with. After that, we can directly send a mail to YouTube and take down this kind of videos. Right? So these are kind of brand abuse instances. So we have in place the brand protection solution systems. They will always monitor the internet space, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere. But if we come to know about such issues, it used to take much time to bring it down because of the cyber channels and other requirements for the admins of the respective system to take down those videos and other unwanted contents. But after this court order, we can do it in a couple of hours. Within a couple of hours, we are able to do. But this problem is that you will take down some instances of the things, but others will come up quickly, and that also it may not be getting hosted from our judiciary or in this environment. It can be uploaded from some other country. So our cyber channel connectivity to those countries also is a dependency there. So it can take time and all these things are kind of course, this is a problematic one. We have to stop such things, but it may take time, and because of the computational facilities are huge now. Availability to the common people is there now because of those things, volumes and the bandwidth, availability. Those are all there. So because of those things, it it takes time to get onto this governance framework and all. It may take time. You have to live with that. No.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions? Sorry. Yes, one. സാർ എനിക്ക് ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളുടെ AI ജനറേറ്റീവ് AI ഫീൽഡിലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ AI നമ്മളൊരു പ്രോംപ്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കണം, അതിനനുസരിച്ചൊരു മീഡിയ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് അത് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് തരും. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്റർനെറ്റ് അന്നോട്ട് തന്നെ ഫയൽസും ഇതുപോലെ സാധനങ്ങൾ എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു പർപ്പസിലാണല്ലോ ഇന്റർനെറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ AI വളർന്നു വന്നു. ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഇതിലല്ല, എന്നാലും ഒരു ഫ്യൂച്ചറിലെത്തുമ്പോൾ ഈ ഇന്റർനെറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് നിന്ന് മാറാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ടോ? എല്ലാ ഡിവൈസസും തമ്മിൽ പരസ്പരം കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് പറയണ്ടെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. എന്നാലും നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന മെയിൻ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഒരു ലോക്കൽ മെഷീനിൽ റൺ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന അതിലേക്ക് തോന്നുന്നെങ്കിലും ഈ ഓഡിയോ ജനറേഷൻ, വീഡിയോ ജനറേഷൻ. ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്കൊരു കാര്യത്തിനെ കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ യൂട്യൂബിൽ കയറിയിട്ട് വീഡിയോ സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നു, കാണുന്നു, അങ്ങനെ കഴിക്കും. അല്ലാണ്ട് തന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട സ്പീഡിൽ അതേ ആക്സിന്റെ അത്ര ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ടൊക്കെ ഇമേജും ഇതും ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കണ്ടന്റ് ഉണ്ടാവുമോ?
It's a very interesting question. So that means you will need your personal system. അതിന് അത്രയ്ക്കധികം സ്റ്റോറേജ് കേപ്പബിലിറ്റി വേണം. I mean, even if there is a powerful generative AI tool which can generate, so you need access to that much of storage and all that. Other than that, I think that there has been advancements in connectivity also. So, I mean, we studied in college. When I was doing my master's, we had this dial-up modems, 4.8 kbps. So now the connectivity speeds are much higher. We have 5G. So connectivity is also going leaps and bounds. So it is better to leverage all the technologies together. That's what I feel. But I mean, if your concern with internet is about security threats and all that, that is also to be addressed. It is all about volume and accuracy. Without volume of data, it is difficult for you to give a full small systems or personal machines and all. It is very difficult to have this full power of any.
സാർ, ഇത് സാറിനോടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനാണ്. എനിക്ക് സൈബർ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി ഫീൽഡിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ സാറ് ഇവിടെ ലിമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ സാറ് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ ഒരു കരിയറിലേക്ക് എത്തിച്ചേരുന്നത് എന്ന് പറയും. ഇത് ടോപ്പിക്കുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടതെന്ന് അറിയാം, അത് ചോദിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെയാണ് വന്നതെന്ന് വെച്ചാല്, അത് by started with initially I was into IT networking activities in the initial 5 years in my career. IT networking, okay, this Ethernet connectivity between computers, and also that time network connectivity and the internet speed and all was very low. Low speed connectivity and all that. Yeah. So there, when you connect and establish a point-to-point connectivity between two systems, and then you will configure the protocols like TCP/IP and all those things, right? Then we will start thinking about how this connectivity can be misused. Okay, people will try to misuse the connectivity, already established connectivity and all. then we have to think about how we can detect such misuse happens, or somebody is accessing some data share, some file share, folders or something across the network by using the passwords of the other person, something like that. So we used to think of how we can detect such things, somehow something happening maliciously on the network and all. So that is the starting point, right? So whenever something new is coming up, and there will be people to misuse that system and trying to get personal benefits out of that, those things. So we will start thinking how to detect those things and how to stop those. That is the fundamental initial steps of security. Just cybersecurity also came from normal physical or logical security thinking. That way, start to understand the things, whatever is happening normally, how a hacker mindset will try to change it and make use of the system for some different purposes. So that is a hacker mindset. Through that hacker mindset, you can understand that through this way, some entities can misuse the system. Then predicting that, that may happen, how we will try to stop it or detect it first and then protect the system. How to do that? That is the mindset you have to in practice to have a cybersecurity understanding. Okay. Then on internet you will get tons of materials on cybersecurity. It's quite the same. There is no specific way to do that. And, or there is no way. All ways are there. That is what you get. So just think of in a hacker mindset first, and how you can uh, defend for those things. Threat actors, so whatever the hackers are generally known as threat actors, some kind of threats. So you have a system, and you have some people or some entities trying to connect to the system, and in a normal way, people will try to connect it, and some people will try to misuse the system or try to access the system into for different ways. Either it can be to stop this to destroy the system. That is a kind of you might have heard of DOS attacks, denial of service attacks, okay, or distributed denial of service attacks. That means you are bombarding with a website or a IP system with a huge number of connections or packets. So the system will start degrading, and finally it will crash. Okay, that is one way of misusing system or destroying a system. Then another thing is you try to get access to the system and use that access and maybe exfiltrate some data or data threads. Okay. Another thing is a website defacement and all. Something like you will put some ransomware attack and you destroy the data or encrypt the data, and normal people will not be able to use it, and you can in fact, the reputation of the organization, like you put some messages on their systems, or I mean, the corporate website or something like that, you are under tag. Yeah. So these are the 2-3 mechanisms for which cybersecurity is there, right? People try to destroy the system or access the system and misuse it in some other way, or exfiltrate the data. Okay, so these are the major 3 areas. So work on such things and thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Actually, Rajeevan sir, he is an executive committee member in the department PCE Alumni Association, so he is available anytime. So you can contact him anytime. Okay. And Santosh is also part of us, so you need not hesitate to contact them, and we have the contacts. We can contact, and we are actually building up the database of all our alumni starting from 87, the first batch onwards, that is 87 batch onwards. And you are also invited to be part of that. So a strong alumni student interaction will lead to more opportunities for employment as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh sir and Rajeevan sir, for spending us your valuable time from your busy schedule. So let's give us a very big round of applause for them. Thank you, sir, for sharing us all the knowledge about artificial intelligence, from the basics to the fields where we have that has been used, and to the major issue that the challenges we are facing from AI and the mitigations we have to do for that. So now I would like to call upon Mubarak sir for giving a token of love from the part of College Alumni Association, GEC Thrissur. Thank you, Mubarak sir. Now I'd like to call upon the UGD, Jain sir, also for delivering a memento to our special guest, Santosh sir and Rajeevan sir, in the name of ECE Alumni Association. Thank you, Jain sir. Now I'd like to call upon Ron Francis sir to deliver the vote of thanks. He is the head of the department, Electronics and Communication Engineer.
Good morning all. Sorry, as part of this Gloria Gopikumar lecture series, today we have a wonderful lecture on exploring artificial intelligence, potential development and challenges. So artificial intelligence, I would say, I hope everybody is nowadays aware. Now, if I, as an HOD, we are receiving a lot of letters from the student side. Now I noticed that whatever letter, previously we used to get a letter in a crude form. Nowadays we are getting a wonderful letters because of thanks to the Meta as well as ChatGPT. Because many of them are using it, and it is clearly visible the language what we use. And we are also using the same. Previously, it took long time to draft a letter. Nowadays, we give inputs to the Meta or ChatGPT to get its outcome. Within few minutes, we get a proper we spend on this kind of data processing has been considerably reduced. So as an actually, I find this is very much useful tool. And today's guest professor, Rajeev Ken, 8993 alumni, has taken a long time of for training our artificial intelligence and their potential and challenges in the area of finance. Currently working in National Stock Exchange, and we know that it is our backbone of our financial security. So here in NSE, the challenges in cyber security is extremely high. So such an area, we have a distinguished alumni from 1993 batch to deliver this kind of lecture exploring artificial intelligence in that area. So I give heartfelt thanks to Rajeev sir for coming over and delivering this lecture. And also, Santosh Narayanan, classmate of Rajeevan K, is also be with us for delivering this lecture. So it's a graphic processing architecture from Intel. And we know that graphic processing requires massive data at a faster rate. So the power required for that is extremely high. And the modeling of such a complex task is very difficult and requires a lot of effort. And sir is a chief design engineer of that particular job, and is working. It's a really model. We can the kind of job which is a correct job as an electronics engineer is concerned, because you require an in-depth knowledge in electronics chip design and how the processor works is required for such a job. And some is the future. The competition for the Intel now is NVIDIA. So the graphic processing unit, NVIDIA is leading now, but now Intel is trying to catch up with that. And service with us for delivering this artificial intelligence potential development challenges. So that's given how one more field, this artificial intelligence and machine learning can pose challenges to us, and what are the methods how can we utilize for our betterment of our daily life. So I extend my heartfelt thanks from as part of the EC department, Sri Santosh Narayanan for coming here and delivering this lecture to us. Next, I thanks Alumni Secretary Mubarak sir for coming over here and giving a good welcome speech. And also, I'm thanking all Bristol teachers for our executive, alumni executive, for mentoring us and giving a cooperative lecture on Gloria Gopikumar lecture series. Teacher Gloria Gopikumar is a classmate of the teacher, and teacher has given meticulous details about her classmate, and really thankful for Gloria Gopikumar for giving this wonderful ambience for all of us to come here and exchange our ideas. And finally, I thanks to our coordinator for this program, Premal sir, for fully coordinating and giving proper guidance to all of us. And also, I thank all the dignitaries coming here and traditional event. Thanks to all, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Roy sir. I once again thank everyone, those who made this session a success. Now the program has ended. Now we can leave the session.